This is going to be a review of the book Think and Grow Bilingual by Napoleon Hill. Actually, the title of the book is Think and Grow Rich, but the principles to obtain wealth that are detailed in the book can be perfectly applied to the learning of the English language. This is what you have never been taught in the classroom studying English. And after watching this video, you will know why some people are that good at learning languages and why most of the people is not. The content in the book is pure wisdom in its maximum expression that will help you out to speak fluently in English faster than you could think. So let's learn how to apply the success principles that most prosperous people utilize in their lives. But here we are going to apply them to the study of the English language. Well, let's get started. When you are starting to study English, there are so many reasons that will make it very easy to think that it is too difficult to learn it, that only people who have a clear, young, and trouble-free mind can learn a new language. Also, that when you reach a certain age, it is not possible to learn another language, unless a language as difficult as English. It costs nothing to believe that all these false beliefs have all the validity of the world, because practically it is what is taught in the schools or English academies. Think about it. What do you think when you see a student struggling with pronunciation, doing endless tasks with boring grammar exercises, and then you realize that even after all that work, he or she cannot speak English? It is so discouraging, and the first thing that we can say is something like this: English is not for me. And with that statement are destroyed all the incredible benefits that come after learning to speak English, because trying is not even worth it. Has this ever happened to you? Or have you seen somebody else say something like this? Now we are going to see it from a different point of view, taking as a reference the most prosperous people in the world. If you look at the biographies of some people who have accumulated a lot of money or success in their lives, many of them started with absolutely nothing. Some people started practically living on the street, but they made a lot of changes in their lives that allowed them to become the wealthiest people in the world. Now, ask yourself this question: what would have happened if these same people had wanted to learn a language as difficult as English rather than wanting to accumulate wealth? Do you think they could have spoken it at a great level? I am sure your answer is yes. When we read a book, that is the bottom line. It is about adapting the information and knowledge that you are acquiring to reading to real situations in your life. Think and Grow Rich is a guide with 13 clear and defined steps that describe how to accumulate wealth. Why not use that knowledge to learn English? This is going to be a summary very similar to the one that I did previously about the book The Cow, written by Dr. Camille Cruz, in which if you watch it, you will learn how to eliminate all the pretexts and justifications that keep you from learning to speak English or any other language. All the knowledge that is embodied in Think and Grow Rich has been proven over and over again by thousands of people who have made their dreams come true. Now it's your turn to use them and achieve what you want in life. Before the publication of Think and Grow Rich, all the information needed to obtain wealth were secrets that were only available to a few people, who for different reasons managed to know and apply them to achieve what they wanted. This was something that Andrew Carnegie, one of the wealthiest men in the world, wanted to change at that moment. So he decided to hire Napoleon Hill to develop a philosophy for the accumulation of wealth that was going to be available to anybody. The job took Mr. Napoleon Hill 2 decades to be able to achieve it, and the result was the publication of the book Think and Grow Rich. The entire philosophy of economic and personal success was summarized in 13 specific steps that are available to anyone willing to make their dreams come true. So now you will know each one of those steps, and you will also learn how you can apply them to your learning process of the English language. Imagine the things that you are going to be able to accomplish after learning how to apply this knowledge to something that you know is within your reach as fluency in English. You are going to be unstoppable. Step number 1. A burning desire to achieve a purpose. Finding our purpose in life can be something very difficult, especially when the education that most of people receives does nothing to achieve it. However, life has so many ways to show us the way to find that so important reason that makes any effort worth it, no matter how difficult it is. This is something I had previously talked about in other videos that I have uploaded to this channel, so you can go and watch them. Okay, when you have found your purpose in life, it is something that you know that make it a reality is going to mean becoming the best person you can be. You will develop an intense desire to achieve it. Remember that learning English is not the ultimate goal, it's what comes when you have done it. You know that if you reach fluency in English, you will be able to get a better job with better benefits. You will have the ability to learn new things that are not available in Spanish or your native language. You will be able to give a better lifestyle to your family. You will also feel the satisfaction of being bilingual and being able to talk to many more people. These are some of the things that can be achieved by learning to speak in English. Imagine them already being a reality, because they are the ones that will help you to develop that burning desire to achieve fluency, which at first, it's only an idea, a thought, but if you support it with the intense desire of wanting to achieve it, it will be the fundamental basis for making it a reality. Step number 2. Faith. Visualizing and believing in the realization of desire. Very well. The idea of learning English is already defined in your mind, and you also have that burning desire of wanting to make it a reality. Now, the next step, just as important, is to believe that you can do it. It is to have faith that is going to come true despite all the obstacles that you are for sure going to encounter along the way, and that will certainly make you doubt that you can do it. Learning English is very challenging, and depending on the environment where you are studying, it will be very easy to find negative influences, such as criticism, mockings, and discouraging comments. Remember that people who have already achieved the goal of learning to speak English or any other language are people who support their learning in positive emotions and thoughts, and they don't allow negative things to affect them. That is the reason why they have done it, and it is something you can do as well. Step number 3. Autosuggestion, the means to influence the subconscious mind. Maybe you don't know what the subconscious mind is, but it is something that determines how you live and make all the decisions in your life. Imagine that your whole being is made up of 3 fundamental parts: your physical body, your conscious mind, and your subconscious mind. Your conscious mind is the one you use to think, to take the decisions, to analyze the things around you. However, you also have the subconscious mind, which is responsible for all the internal decisions that you will not have time to think about. It is the one that influences our beliefs about ourselves and the world around us. So, learning what it is and how to influence our subconscious mind is indispensable to achieve great things such as learning to speak English. Many people are able to influence their subconscious mind without even realizing it. And the way anyone can do it is through autosuggestion. In the book Think and Grow Rich, it is explained in full detail how to influence the subconscious mind through clear and definite statements, supported by positive emotions and beliefs that will make our subconscious mind not to be influenced by all the negative things that we are going to come across. Step number 4. Specialized knowledge, personal experiences. It's easy to notice that people who achieve great successes in life are extremely good at doing something specific. For example, Albert Einstein managed to be one of the greatest scientists of human history, dedicating and becoming exceptional in physics. Another example will be Lionel Messi, who is considered the best player in the world, and he did it by becoming incredibly good at playing soccer. These are examples of people who have reached super high levels of greatness. But the truth is that we are all good at doing something. There is no person in the world who is useless. Now more than ever, anyone has the opportunity to excel in any field they want. With the aid of the internet, you can learn anything you can imagine, and do you know the language that will help you out to do so? If you thought it is the English language, the answer is yes. Today is the language of the science and knowledge. Anything you want to learn, you can do it if you can speak English. Step number 5. Imagination, the workshop of the mind. Imagination is what will allow you to use the specialized knowledge you have to create new things, adapt existing things, and develop innovative methods to solve the problems that are going to be presented along the way. Learning English requires that you use your imagination, because you are learning a whole new language. It's not an easy thing. It is a whole new way of expressing yourself and understanding the world. And imagination will allow you to develop your own method to understand the new and strange grammatical rules, and of course to express yourself in the new language. Step number 6. Organized planning, the crystallization of desire into actions. Here you will find the explanation of all the necessary principles to convert all the previous steps into definite actions. Here is where all the thoughts begin to become a reality, and in the case of the English language, is when you begin to develop your own personal method to reach the fluency. It is where you learn to be aware of all the skills and weaknesses you have, and that are going to be useful to not to affect you negatively in the moment when you face the continuous failures that you will come across. This could be, for example, that you may think that you are not improving in the language, or when you have the opportunity to speak with a native speaker of English and you cannot do it because you get frozen, for example. Step number 7. Decision. Mastery over procrastination. Learning English is certainly going to be one of the most important decisions in life of any person. However, it is very common to see how a decision as important as this is left for a later day, for the next month, or for the following year. And as easy as this, it is wasted half a life or more, and the goal is never achieved. This step details how successful people make decisions, as well as how making quick decisions and changing them slowly can make the big difference between accomplishing the purpose and not doing it. During the learning of the English language, it will be necessary to make decisions, and frequently some of them are going to be very difficult, but here is explained how you can do it as the great ones. Step number 8. Persistence. The constant and necessary effort to induce faith. Being persistent is going to be fundamental to speak English fluently, because throughout the process you will encounter all kinds of obstacles that will make you believe that you cannot do it. If you have started to study English, you know that it is true, because sometimes, seriously, we want to give up, because the results are not seen. When your persistence is not affected by these passing problems, your faith increases incredibly, and little by little, your self-confidence is not affected at all. In this step, you will find the groundings of persistence and also how to apply them to your learning. Step number 9. The power of the mastermind, the driving force. I am sure that you can learn English on your own, and you don't need it to be surrounded by other people telling you that you are going to do it. I say it because it was the way I utilized to reach a level sufficient to change my life. However, becoming a part of a group of at least 2 or more people pursuing the same goal clearly has its advantages. If each one of the people who make it up are committed to cooperate with the other team members in reaching the common goal, incredible things can be created, combining the creativity of each one. These can be very well applied in classrooms in the schools or anywhere where more than one person is studying. Step number 10. The mystery of sex transmutation. Something that repeats itself over and over directly or indirectly throughout the book is that the mind can make anything to be possible. But influencing the mind can be very difficult if we don't know how to do it, because to influence our subconscious mind, we have to do it through the conscious mind, and that is achieved through stimuli mixed with emotions. It turns out that the most intense emotion that a human being can experience is sexual expression. This is at the head of the most powerful emotions to influence the mind. If you think this has nothing related with learning to speak English, think about this. What will happen if you wanted to learn English with the same intensity you feel when wanting to express your sexual desire? Of course, if at this moment there are more questions than answers about this, the book clearly explains everything about it. Something important, if you are not yet in age to fully understand all of this, you can ask to someone you trust. Step number 11. The subconscious mind. As I mentioned in the step of autosuggestion, the subconscious mind is what makes you unstoppable when you manage to speak its language. Imagine that you are a person that when obstacles appear, when learning to speak English, they don't affect you at all, and you continue moving forward. Also, that you are someone who doesn't care mocking, someone who has a will of steel and never looks at the problems. Instead, you look the opportunities to improve. It means that you have become someone who has mastered the language of the subconscious mind, and you have a superior emotional intelligence. This is the subconscious mind. Step number 12. The brain, the broadcasting and receiving station of thoughts. As humans, we have the most advanced tool known so far. I mean our brain. It is the one that allows us to view who we are and gives us the means to achieve greatness. Each of us has complete control over the thoughts we let get in or those we share with others. When we are learning English, we don't only learn English, we also learn a lot of additional things that are going to affect the way we live. It is a whole new language. Of course, it will be accompanied by new things that were previously unknown. But also those things are going to make people who are influenced by us to be affected in some way. Step number 13. The sixth sense. The door to the temple of wisdom. This is the result of having mastered the first 12 principles. It is when you have at your disposal the inspiration, the instinct to see things that others don't see, and the ability to anticipate dangers and opportunities automatically. Applied to the English language, it will allow you to find patterns that will help you learn more easily the grammatical rules, new words, and the pronunciation that is sometimes very difficult. I don't think it is necessary to be an expert in the first 12 steps to give a taste of the benefits of the sixth sense. Because something that I realized is that when you are reaching an advanced level in English, your instinct to find patterns is going to be sharper, and this is something that you are going to notice for sure. Well, I didn't think this video was going to have this duration, but it was necessary to do so. Think and Grow Rich is a wonderful book. Every person who wants to achieve a goal in life, whether small or large, should read this book at least once. If this book has served to so many people to accumulate great wealth for so many decades, for sure it will help you to achieve something as important to your life as is to speak English fluently. I made this video for you to realize that when you read a book, the interpretation of the content is yours, and you can apply it to your needs using your own mind. Thank you for watching, and I see you soon.